Hello there, boys and girls. I fucking suck at maintenance my bike. That's a fact. Every time I try to do something, it goes wrong. So today I'm going to challenge myself and we're going to try and set up the new Canyon Grizl Tubeless. Let's go. Alright, so we made it to the shed. As I said before, I am no good mechanic. So basically wanted to make this video just to make it like obvious to everybody how easy tubeless setup is. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos and I'm actually quite confident that I can fix this. Today's mission is not only to set up the bike tubeless, I also want to swap tires. I've been riding the Pathfinder Pro 38mm on my previous bike, the Giant Revolt, and on this one I want to try out the 42s because bigger is better, right? No, but really, I think that the 42s are going to be faster setup. Also listening to some fast people like Dylan Johnson and so it seems like the better choice and more comfort, man. It's bumpy out there. Let's get going. Alright, first order of business, let me introduce what we're gonna need today. I have bought some, this is actually an old bottle. I've bought some new also, some sealant. I use Orange Seal Endurance because when I researched it, it seemed like the obvious choice if you want a sealant that seals alright, but also lasts you a long time. Because one of the downside of going tubeless is that you need to maintain it. Because it gets sticky in the wheel and then it's just extra weight, and once it gets sticky it won't seal anything because it needs to be compliant. So next thing is your new tires, or just use the tires on your bike already. I've got my new tires here. It's, as I said, the Pathfinder Pro 42mm. Nice and comfy. Need two of those, of course, because we got two wheels. Brand new packaging. Let's try and display that. And also you would need something to get the sealant into the wheel. I do it through the valves because I don't think that it makes a big mess as doing it through the wheel. So get yourself an injector or this refill bottle from Orange Seal again. It worked fine for me. I also actually bought a tool for the valve. It makes it easier just to get the valve top off, and that's pretty much it. You also need a pump. I brought a 4 pump, but we've actually got a compressor in here, so I might use that. I'm not sure how well it's gonna work, but yeah, that's it. Let's try and get started. All right, so I just forgot to mention 2 fucking essentials. First thing is bike levers to get the wheels off and probably also on, and the valves, of course. You need some tubeless compatible valves. The first thing that we're gonna do today is get the old tires off because we need to insert the new ones. There's actually bike stands down here, but because I really don't trust them, I'm just gonna put my bike upside down, so you can do that as well. Don't need a bike stand then. Take your wheel off, put the through axle somewhere safe so that it doesn't get dirty or something. Now I'm gonna let out all the air of the wheel. Now we've got all the air out the wheel. Just gonna try and pinch it off the hook. Get it into the center of the wheel basically, then it'll get easier to get off. There we go. Try not to damage your rims. I've got so cold hands. There we go. Pull your inner tube out. I'm gonna save it for punctures and stuff. Once we've got the wheel off the rims, Then it's time to insert the valves. Do I really need a scissor for this? There you go. Here are the valves. I actually got a lot of different colors and stuff. I think that's quite cool. So install your valve and we'll get on to the next step, right? Once you install the this one, only finger tighten it. Because once you're on the road and you get a flat and you need to get the sealant out and get an inner tube in, then you would not want to be out there stuck with freezing hands and can't get this loose. So just finger tighten it. So now it's time to get cracking with the tire. Make sure that you fold out the tire, I guess. Again, I wish that I was like a mechanic giving you pro tips and all, but this is more just me figuring out the process. So try and get it into a normal shape, I guess. Something that looks like something that could get into a wheel. I think that's a good start. There we go. That looks like a wheel to me. Then, now we're gonna look at somewhere on the wheel that says rotation and the way that it's rotating. Make sure that your wheel, so my wheel is gonna be disc rotors on the left side, right here, and then it's gonna be rolling forward. Make sure to check for that, otherwise you get the thread the wrong way around. On the Pathfinder, it's quite easy to tell which way is like forward, but other tires like this G1 Bite where the thread is just like the same, then it's quite hard, I assume, to see like which way to turn it. And now let's try and install this bad boy, this snake. One of the things that I learned while being on YouTube, everybody wants this graphic to be where the valve is. So I'm gonna try and do that, try and make it look pretty for you. Let's just try and get the one side on, I guess. Damn, this wheel looks huge. Man, I just got so fucking nervous that I bought the wrong tire, and my tire was a 650B, which would have made no sense. The rookie mistake that I made was basically just that you just need to start with one side and then get on with it. Make it look pretty for you with the logo right here. There we go. Man, I was googling all kinds of shit. See, now it fits. And once you're doing this, it's pretty important that the wheel is in the inner canal, again, just to give you as much space. And of course, if your wheel isn't tubeless ready, you should install some tape, but mine is already tubeless ready. So to protect your rims, I've heard that you shouldn't use a tire lever, but I'm too weak. Just gonna use a tire lever just to get the last part over. There we go. Looks pretty good. Almost got the logo. Didn't quite get it. It's okay. It's okay. So now we move on to the next side. Quick tip here again. Finish off where the valve is. Start from the other side and work my way around. It's actually not too bad to put on. But if that's a good or bad thing, I don't really know yet. And once you're doing this, just make sure it doesn't hop off anywhere else. So apparently the thing that you should listen for is like 2 or 3 pops where it like seeps onto the sides, basically. There we go. If you got a tip or trick for getting the last bit off, go ahead and share it in the comments, please, because I'm fucking dying. I really need a tip. Finally got it off. Go ahead and put the wheel on this one, or the tire on this wheel. Man, I always mix those two things up. And now, as you see here, the valve is on the wrong side. You want the valve in the middle of the tire, of course. So we're just gonna go ahead and do that. I'm sorry if this is not the most creative film, in the sense that I'm filming like from the same point all the way along almost. But I'm really trying to concentrate on this. So yeah, I'll try to improve in later videos if we are gonna do maintenance videos again. I actually think that this has been a success so far. So fixed the back tire as well. The lighting got pretty bad, so I went outside. Now it's just time for the finishing touches. Now we're just gonna put sealant into the tires. Just gonna show you real quick how you can check that the tires have actually seated, because that's really important before you move on to the next step. So basically what you're gonna look for is just that there's this black line. If it just goes from rim to brown, then it's not seated correctly. But this, as you can see, is perfect all the way around. Now let's go get some sealant in it. Give it a good shake beforehand. Okay, so how much is in this bottle? 118. That means that we're gonna use half a bottle for each wheel, around 60 millimeters. Just make sure to get all of that in there. Then you're gonna take your valve core and put it in. Make sure it's only the top that's rotating. So at the moment I've got the problem that there's a lot of air coming out from the valve. Just gonna try and give it a shake. That worked. We're gonna pump it up to some normal PSI and get on to the next one. So it seems like we've got some leakage around the valve. We might actually need to get the wheel off and do it again just to make sure that it's safe. But I'll do the back wheel and then we'll do this one another day. Okay, so it actually seems like we kind of have the same problem on this one. But yeah. Not sure if I would call today a success, but that's gonna be it for today. It seemed alright easy, but I don't know about the valves. Gonna check on that later and maybe bring you an update tomorrow. Alright then lads, it's been a few days. The tubeless tires actually sealed pretty well. Tires are holding up air, but the one problem that I seem to be having is that it's hard to get air out and air in. I've narrowed down the problem being this valve core. Basically the problem is that there's sealant in this, so it doesn't move as freely as you'd like it to. So I might need to take them off and rinse them very well or replace them, but that's a simple process. I just wanted to cover why doing tubeless on my gravel bike. The main reason is that it fixes little punctures very well. So when riding on gravel, I believe that I get small punctures all the time. And last year I only had one big puncture where I had to plug it, and then I could ride well after that. So that's the main reason. The other reason is it's faster because you're able to run lower pressure in the tires, and because you're able to run lower pressures, it also gets a bit more comfortable when riding on rough terrain, which I think is very important when riding your gravel bike. And as you saw in this video, it's actually not too hard to fix on your bike. And yeah, then you'd have to replenish it over time, and in a year I'd have to change it out, do the process again, but I think it's worth it. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you want tutorial videos like this, throw a comment. I mean, they're pretty hard to film just because I'm such a bad bike mechanic in the first place, but also it gives me the opportunity to learn new skills, and I'm all up for it. So let me know if you enjoyed it, and as always, subscribe, give it a like, really appreciate it, and till next time, hopefully on the bike instead of fixing around stuff. Alright, bye bye.